going to fuck with a little bit of politicking today. We're going to watch some CNN because I just came across some CNN footage. I want you guys to check it out. Check out the honest CNN. This is, what's this guy's face? Don Lemon.
To new reporting by the Washington Post, it may be much harder than he expected. A number of respected veteran defense lawyers turning down the former president, including my next guest. Joining me now, former Assistant Special Watergate Prosecutor John Sale. John, thank you for joining. I was having a conversation before. It's like, who would want to represent Donald Trump? I don't know if you would get paid. Probably wouldn't listen to you. But anyway, why'd you turn him down?
Well, I can only speak for myself, Don. It's nice to see you, by the way. So without...
Shut the fuck up, basically, is what that man told you. Shut the fuck up. Basically, this is about an article about Trump's turning down, lawyers turning down Trump's legal team. And this guy already jumps to conclusions, says that they're not going to get paid and he won't listen. And the guy tells him, yo, shut the fuck up, basically. I can talk for myself.
Without violating any confidences, I got a call. Payment was not an issue. So that really was not, we moved on from there right away.
So shut the fuck up. Wrong about that one already. Well, you shouldn't even have commented on that.
And I was intrigued. My conversation was...
He has his head to the side, they're like, yeah, because you're wrong.
Completely about legal issues. And there are some very interesting legal issues. And I think the president, former president, can have zealous advocacy by a lawyer who still will be ethical, won't go over the line. And I actually think it's not as simple as George previously in a previous segment indicated. I mean, there are the interplay between the different statutes. The documents that were seized, neither side knows what they have. The FBI agents, they didn't sit there studying and reviewing them. And there are some very serious privilege issues. I mean, there's attorney-client privilege. There is executive privilege. There's a privilege that Eric Holder asserted called the deliberative process privilege. And all that has to be sorted out. And I think I mentioned a minute ago, there's no evidence, based upon what's reported, that the president, former president, specifically knew what was there, who authorized taking it. And these are the things that this grand jury is going to uncover. And I thought as a lawyer, I could put my head down, avoid all the noise, and just proceed as a lawyer. Well, within a day or two, I realized I was wrong. For example, I would have wanted to stay out of politics.
Do you realize how this right here then says Trump scrambling to add seasoned lawyers to team, and this turned out to be nothing like what they're advocating because they're jumping again to conclusions. They haven't even spoken to a lawyer yet. They haven't spoken to a lawyer, and they're already saying that they're scrambling to add seasoned lawyers. How do you know that they're scrambling? They're trying to make it seem like Trump's desperate. One would be an honest headline to me would be Trump looking for lawyers. Trump looking for new lawyers amidst FBI raid. Scrambling to add. When you're scrambling, that creates like a panic mode type shit in people's heads. You know, that's propaganda.
But as soon as I heard about the threats, the rhetoric about the agents and attacks on the judge, I would have immediately spoken out and condemned that and hoped the president would also. But I think it's a challenging assignment. And frankly, I turned it down because I would have had to give up all my other clients. I mean, I think there's so much to be done and I just didn't have the time to do it. But I think other lawyers, this is an opportunity to represent the former president. How often does that come about?
I just asked that question to George Conway. There are people out there or firms who may just want to say they represented the former president of the United States. But my question is this, you said you didn't have enough time to devote to it, you didn't like the threats and so forth, but why do you...
Watch, he's gonna start fishing off for negativity, for bullshit. This guy's the worst, man. I cannot stand this guy. Oh, man.
Do you think other veteran attorneys are refusing to defend him?
Well, there are some law firms that just don't want controversy, and they would react the same way if it was to represent Hunter Biden or a Democrat. I think that when I say I don't have the time, I don't want to sound like that. I'm so busy, I don't have time for the president. But every client that I have, I think, is my most important client. I just couldn't stop what I'm doing right now. I'm surprised. I mean, despite the media reports, I would think that if law firms wouldn't object, that lawyers would be very anxious to represent the president, but do it right and speak up to him and give him the advice they think and be willing to argue with him. And if they were asked to do something inappropriate, not to do it. But he's entitled, no one's above the law, which is the cliche why he should be held accountable. But when the Attorney General held his press conference, he specifically said he's presumed innocent. And so he shouldn't be held to a lower standard either. And I think in the media frequently we forget that Donald Trump is presumed innocent at this point.
Yeah.
Ooh, he got him. He got him right there. You saw that? He got him right there. yeah, they want to hold me for that. He's basically told them, he basically threw a little body hook on them. They're basically the ones that do that. They're the ones that are forgetting that Trump is presumed innocent. When he talks about media, he's talking to CNN. This guy's good. This guy's honest. This guy's in there giving them some truth.
Listen, but that's a whole other thing about finding an attorney. I think that, listen, everyone is entitled to a zealous defense, of course. That's the American way. But when you look at the history of Donald Trump not listening to his attorneys or not paying his attorneys, all of that could factor into, and also, as you said, the threats and the amount of time and attention that comes with representing the former president of the United States. Those are all very valid reasons for people not wanting to represent him.
Well, everybody has to make their own decision, and I
You saw what he did there? He spoke for him. Why do you have him on the show if you're gonna jump to your conclusion? The guy just told you. The guy just told you why he's not doing it. Yeah, you gave your own reasons. So why you have him on? That's not the reasons what he said. He said it's complicated, and he says it brings a lot of stress. He never said he wouldn't listen. He didn't say anything that you said. And look at you, you're tight. You're a tight ass. Look how upset he is. He looks like he looks tight as fuck. Look at that face. He's tight because that motherfucker knows. He knows. He knows it didn't work out for him. He thought he was gonna be there with a lackey or something. Maybe this guy's a Democrat.
I agree with that, but for example, the issue of payment, I don't know about other lawyers, but I can say without going into details, that wasn't a concern. That was assured, and I moved on from that, and I thought that it was a very challenging opportunity. I mean, I was on a team that prosecuted a president until he was pardoned, and the opportunity in a lifetime to defend a president who's entitled to a defense, I thought was a historic opportunity. And I don't know the answer to your question, and I'm not sure it's true. I'm not sure it's accurate. I think that, let me say one other thing. They did not give me the impression that they think they have a weak legal team. There are a couple of lawyers with extensive experience working for the Department.
Oh man, he don't like that. He does not like to hear that. He put his head down and everything. You see that? That's that body language. He looks so tight. Look at that tight face.
Justice, and I think they just want to expand the team.
Well, let's talk about that then, because his current team includes Lindsay Halligan, a Florida insurance lawyer, Christina Bobb, an election denier who appears on the far right One America Network, and Alina Habba, who, as the Washington Post says, is a former general counsel for a parking garage company. So the question is, you said that...
You guys saw that, right? A little introduction to all these people, just throwing some negative shade on them.
That they didn't indicate that they had a weak team.
This is pure propaganda, this CNN shit. Both of my blood just doing this for you guys.
But is this the kind of legal firepower you'd want on a case like this?
Ain't like a firepower. Fucking woman. Look at this little bitch.
That they had a weak team, but is this the kind of legal firepower you'd want on a case like this?
Well,
you know this guy hangs out with some flamers. Firepower.
I don't want to disparage any other attorney, but I do not know them, but I read their names are public, that there are two lawyers not in Florida who have extensive Department of Justice experience and who.
This is
Evan
Cochran and James Trusty are two other two lawyers from Trump's legal team, and they have federal legal experience, right?
Right. That's what I meant.
Is that going to be enough?
Ooh, shit of the three females there, and made the two men look good. I would actually agree with him just by looking at them, actually, because they're a lot older. Just because of that, and when you're, years matter when you're a fucking lawyer. But still, bro, what happened there, my dude? That's not supposed to be your narrative. What's up? Are you being sexist? I think that was pretty sexist there. See, you can't keep up lies. The shit breaks down on you. It's easy to call them out too.
I know it's not enough, but what I'm saying is, a week or two from now, I would predict they're going to have some very strong, effective additions to the team. But let's wait and see. I just think representing a former president is a great opportunity, but a lawyer has to do it right and has to do it ethically and has to give the advice that he or she thinks is correct. I think they will find counsel. Yeah. Good counsel.
I don't know
with the kind of experience I have. I'm not the only one, and there are plenty of other very good lawyers out there.
Listen, I have to ask you. I don't know if you can answer any of this because
Sure.
I mean, as it says on the below your name.
You see, when he says something positive, he goes right. He just like tramples it. Doesn't even acknowledge it. I don't respect anyone that watches this and doesn't understand that they're being manipulated. It's crazy.
Name there. That you're the former representative. You formerly represented Rudy Giuliani. He spoke to a grand jury today for 6 hours. He is presumed to be the target of an investigation. Do you have any comment on any of the legal troubles that are facing Rudy Giuliani right now?
Well, I've got experience in representing high visibility clients, and Mayor Giuliani, I represented him in the House Intelligence Committee hearings before the impeachment proceeding, and that all worked out very well. I'm not representing him in this, so I really don't know what he's done or what he hasn't done or how his legal counsel's handling that.
There you have it, fishing for bullshit and couldn't find it. Making himself look like a fucking asshole. See you guys later. I'm gonna keep fishing for these assholes.